Welcome to the Joy, Love, and Happiness Show. My name, gotta get in frame. Pardon the lack of sophistication, but I'm trying to get proficient at this, and I will as we go along. We're here for the joy, love, and happiness. We're not here necessarily for the technology and the production value. Every comedians is somebody. You'll find out, but you have to watch my Let's Play Golf and Talk videos to see it. But this is the introduction video. This is the first time we've gotten together on a Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I want to introduce what we're going to do every Thursday night. Now, first of all, my name is Gary Steve Irwin. Please call me Steve. It's not my real name. It wouldn't take you very long to find out what my real name is. But that's my stage name. There's Chris Farley again. And that name, where that name came from was, there was this guy I worked with. He was about 5 foot tall, barely. And he weighed over 200 pounds, maybe 250. He had a weight problem. But this guy, when he was joyful, you could see it all over him. It was like, he was like Bubble Boy. Nothing touched him. He was having such a good time. And I've never forgotten the looks on his face. I've never forgotten that 100% joy. And that's what I try and have in as many moments in my life that I can. And that's what I want us to try and have here. But we got to start somewhere. So we're not going to start with joy, love, happiness, and here we go, try this, try this. No, I want to start slowly and move my way up. But before we do that, let's finish the song, because it's a good song. And I got the words on the screen so that you can sing along.
Here's a little song I wrote. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry. Be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry. Be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Hey, I give you my phone number. When you're worried, call me. I'll make you happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style. Ain't got no girl to make you smile. But don't worry. Be happy. Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
worry, be happy. And that's what it's all about. Even in a life of trouble. I know a guy in the Philippines. This is one of the reasons why I started doing this. Number one reason was to pay for the tuition and the fees and the costs and all that for my daughter. She's in college. But number two on the list is to pay for these 5 kids this guy has. His wife died 5, 6 months ago. And to be able so they could still go to school because they can't go to school now. Their ages 5 to 12, I think, maybe 13 by now. So there's 2 caveats that I wanted you to know about. Number one, if you watch the show live, then you'll see all of the clips that I include in the show. If you watch the show on a rerun, on a video, then some of those videos might be gone. Hey everybody, Steve here. I'm doing after editing of the first Joy, Love, and Happiness show. And there are places that a lot of stuff has to be fixed. And one of the places is this part about clips being taken out. Within 10 minutes of the show finishing, there were 3 copyright claims, and they're letting me play the videos, but they're just getting the money from it. So instead of that, what I'd like to ask you to do is to click this. I'm going to put it up here in the video. And if you click on that, it'll be a 20-second video of my cat, Polly. And if you click on the ad there, it'll take 5 seconds. My video will stop. It'll go to whatever page the ad is. I'll get paid for it. I don't know. I might get paid, I don't know. Someone said 80 cents, I don't know, or more. So that will be a way to help with supporting the Joy, Love, and Happiness show. Now on with the show. And now you know it's edited. But all the videos will be there. And the reason is some people have a different interpretation of what fair use is. There's copyright laws in the US and then fair use. I believe everything I'm doing is under fair use. Some people have a different opinion. I don't want any trouble. Joy, love, and happiness, that's all I want. So instead of the actual video, there'll be a link and you could go watch the video that's referenced in the live show. And the other thing is there'll be 2 commercials. One in the beginning, which is going to come right now, and the other one at the very end of the video. Other than that, I'm not going to do any kind of pitch and this is what I want, that's what I want. All right, that's the end of the commercials. So the place I want to start is a place in your mind that has joy, love, and happiness in it. In other words, a period of time where that's all that was coming in. Of course, that's real hard to do, but I'm going to take you back to your childhood. Now, if you don't know this particular guy I'm about to show you, try and get a feel for what kind of guy he is, and then try and find where that would be for you. This is the theme song from a show that was on when I was a little kid.
Come on now, laugh and be happy, and the world will laugh with you. When people see you smiling, they can't help smiling too. When you look out the window to a dark and gloomy day, break out a smile and in a while the gloom will go away. So laugh and be happy with a merry melody. A song will make a hat rack look like a Christmas tree. Get rid of worry in a hurry, chase the blues away. Just laugh and be happy all the live long day.
In the early 60s, Sheriff John, and I don't know where sheriffs were in the pecking order of respectability, but this guy presented decent living standards. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to yourself. Be polite. Have honor for the elderly. Use polite manners. Those sorts of things. He wasn't hardcore. He wasn't over the top. There were others. Soupy Sales for some of you. There was Bozo the Clown. There was a guy named Engineer Bill. We actually lived nearby where somebody who worked on that show or worked at that station. I don't remember exactly what the story is. And but there's hopefully someone in your video, your sphere that covers that. It could be Dora the Explorer, Bob the Builder. There's lots of examples down the way of just sending that kind of message to kids. This is Sheriff John, and what he did was he had 5 days a week, and he would announce kids' birthdays on his show, right? And it was all positive. It was all think respectful. Think of when you talk to a child, if you talk to them respectfully, they definitely get it and they get the uptake. But here's an example of his birthday message that he did for the kids.
Put another candle on my birthday cake. We're gonna bake a birthday cake. Put another candle on my birthday cake. I'm another year old today. I'm gonna have a party with my birthday cake. Come on and take some birthday cake. Put another candle on my birthday cake. I'm another year old today. We'll have some pie and sandwiches and chocolate ice cream too. We'll sing and play the day away. And one more thing I'm gonna do, I'll blow out the candles on my birthday cake. And when I do, a wish I'll make. Put another candle on my birthday cake. I'm another year old today.
So he lived to be 93. And this particular guy, he had no bad stuff happen, no scandals, nothing like that. He was a happy guy. He loved people. He was gentle with kids, and he lived to be 93. Here's the last picture of him, Sheriff John, in his 90s. So I'm trying to get all of us to a place where that joy comes from. We all had it when we were kids, and I think it's possible for us to access it whenever we want, even if it's only one time a week. But I think it's time for a song. I like this song, so let's play this song.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him a drink his wine. Yet he always had some mighty fine wine. He said, joy to the world. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. If I
That's a good song. All right. I don't see a preview, so I don't know how well this is going. I'm gonna have to look at. Oh, I'm sorry, Polly. Here, you have to go. Sometimes the cats want to sit on your lap. All right. The only way I can do it is go on YouTube and be a few seconds behind. All right, everything looks good. All right, let me move on. Technical difficulties, but like I said, production value maybe won't be the best, but I'll get better. All right, I got to fix that preview. We'll do that on the next video. So there's another guy that he started in 1969. He went to 1993, a long time. Fred Rogers, you can kind of see his shadow on there. And right now, in this country, for some of you, the United States, and in other countries, it's been that way for a long time. There's stress, there's strife, there's political, there's actual physical harm and damage being done. There's fear being spread. There's rumor, and there's all kinds of stuff. Well, this guy Fred Rogers, his audience was kids. It was kids for all that time. This is another guy that never had a scandal. There's a group that does a video on the internet, and they have a whole thing about Fred Rogers. But he was a stand-up guy, a great guy. But what I want to point out about Fred Rogers is he talked to kids around the time of some shootings in this country. He was on the air and he talked to kids. And I want him to talk to our child, our inner child. I don't know if you've read any of those psychology books. There's Chris again. But he talks about violence and bad people and things like that. And I want to play that video for you. I hope it comes out on the...
This program is not for young children to watch alone. When children see and hear about frightening things, it's best for them to have an adult close by, somebody who loves them and can put their arm around them. So please get a grown-up that you love to watch this program with you, because we're going to talk about some sad and scary things. There are people in the world who are so sick or so angry that they sometimes hurt other people, and they're usually the ones who end up in the news. Remember hearing about John Lennon being shot in New York, and President Reagan and his friends in Washington, and the Pope in Rome, and the young people being murdered in Atlanta and other places? Well, the people who are doing these terrible things are making a lot of other people sad and angry. But when we get sad and angry, you and I, we know what to do with our feelings so we don't have to hurt other people. The other day I talked with some school children about some of these things, and I'd like you to hear what they have to say.
And when I heard about when that one man got shot in the head, I ran upstairs in my bed and started praying for him, that he stay alive.
That was certainly frightening, wasn't it? But how do you think anybody gets to be a murderer?
Maybe they're lonely.
Lonely?
Or something.
And why do you suppose that they would kill somebody if they were lonely?
Because they had no one to talk to.
Or they're somebody murdered somebody in their family.
Oh, you think they might have murdered somebody in their family?
And so they're just trying to give everybody, pay everybody back for it.
When I was a boy and I would hear about something scary, somebody getting badly hurt or something like that, I'd ask my parents or my grandparents about it. And they would usually tell me how they felt about it. In fact, my mother would try to find out who was helping the person who got hurt. Always look for the people who are helping, she'd tell us. You'll always find somebody who's trying to help. So even today, when I read the newspaper and see the news on television, I look for the people who are trying to help. One of the most important parts of growing up is learning to talk and play about our feelings. Some people wonder if Mr. Rogers ever gets angry. Of course I do, especially when I hear about people hurting other people or when somebody hurts me.
All right, I did it. I did it, everybody. All right, you can see me now. All right. The thing about Fred Rogers is he presented to children, and our inner child needs that sort of reassurance as well. Those of you in the United States that are watching the show, but all around the world. And it's not just national issues, but it goes down to personal issues. It goes down to what happens 10 minutes from now. You know, one of the most difficult times to gather and to exude joy, love, and happiness is when someone close to you, or for some people, even yourself, is dying, is going to leave this existence, is not going to be with you here anymore. That's a real hard place to gather it, but that is the place where it's most important. That's the place to make a send-off, make a joyful change for that loved person. All right. So I want to play one more Fred Rogers tape, and this is from, I think one of the last appearances he made was after he stopped doing Mr. Rogers. He got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Academy Awards. So I want to play this one more time, and this one, remember, he's talking to adults. He's not talking to kids. He's talking to people his own age, younger, older, etc. So I want to bring us back into our adulthood. I'm guessing that most people watch are adults, but if there are kids watching, I'm glad you're here. I hope that the message I'm trying to give about finding moments of joy and enjoying them will ring true with you as well. But let's play this speech from Fred Rogers that he got from the Academy Awards.
Generation upon generation of children confidence in themselves, for being their friend, for telling them again and again and again that they are special and that they have worth. It is my honor, on behalf of everyone here and on behalf of the millions of children whose mornings you have brightened with your kindness, to present you with this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, it's a beautiful night in this neighborhood. So many people have helped me to come to this night. Some of you are here, some are far away, some are even in heaven. All of us have special ones who have loved us into being. Would you just take, along with me, 10 seconds to think of the people who have helped you become who you are? Those who have cared about you and wanted what was best for you in life. 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch the time. Whomever you've been thinking about, how pleased they must be to know the difference you feel they've made. You know, they're the kind of people television does well to offer our world. Special thanks to my family and friends, and to my co-workers in public broadcasting, family communications, and this academy for encouraging me, allowing me all these years to be your neighbor. May God be with you. Thank you very much.
So that's pretty cool. Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers. Good guy. And again, you can go on the internet and you can do searches. You can see videos on YouTube. Great guy, his whole life. No scandals, no this, no that. But the reason I'm playing these things is to speak to your adult, but don't forget the child that's inside you. That child that, I don't know how old they were, I don't know how long you were able to just frolic, to just jump and run and play and roll in the grass and play roly-poly down the hill and take cookies and pull them apart. Some of you still do. That's a moment of joy. That's a great thing to have. So there's one other guy that I want to expose you to, and then we'll have a couple of videos, and that'll be the show. But this guy, some people that are real close to me know this guy, and I'm bringing him up for one special guy, but everyone should really pay attention to this.
Okay, now we can wash the old brush. Okay, now we can wash the old brush. And if you've painted with me before, you know this is the fun part of this whole technique. Wash the old brush. Beat the devil out of them. And that's what makes it fun. Just enjoy. Wash the old brush. That's the fun part. Cover everything in the studio. Just scrub it off. Good old odorless paint thinner. I just like to wash brushes. One thing about these, though, you will become an expert brush washer. Just enjoy. Oh, and that's where you take out all your hostilities and frustrations. And there we are. A lot of fun. Just have a little fun and off you go.
Of course, that's Bob Ross. Bob Ross had a show that he painted, and he invited you to paint along. And an interesting thing about the show is only 10% of his viewers painted along. The other 90%, his voice was so soothing. His voice was so melodic. His voice was so comforting that people listened to Bob Ross so they could go to sleep. He knew it, but he was okay with it. There's a lot of interesting stuff about Bob Ross as he went through a little more controversy than Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. Because he had an instructor who taught him this technique. He made the technique famous. Some people say the guy that taught him got jealous because he was successful. I don't know what the whole story is, but in terms of joy, love, and happiness, Bob Ross brought it to a lot of people. And so I want to play one more thing from, a story I wanted to tell you. Bob Ross was in the Air Force. He was in the Air Force, and his job was to yell at Air Force, not recruits, but whatever people were doing, whatever job. And when he got out of the Air Force, he swore he never wanted to raise his voice again. And that's where he got this style that you see in the upcoming clip. This time I'm going to make sure I make this thing smaller.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your oil paints and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. This is your world. You're the creator. Find freedom on this canvas. Believe that you can do it. Cause you can do it. Give it a little touch. Give it a little push. Make love to the canvas. Give it a little touch. Give it a little push. Caress it. Very gentle. Grab it, lift it, fluff it. You can go on and on and on. back and forth, layer after layer after layer. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. This is your world. You're the creator. Find freedom on this canvas. Believe that you can do it, cause you can do it. Relax, let it flow. Think like water. Relax, let it flow. You can go on and on and on. We don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents. You can do anything that you want to do. Total power. Sing along, have a good time. This is your world. You're the creator. Find freedom on this canvas. Believe that you can do it, cause you can do it, cause you can do it, you can do it. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart.
Bob Ross. And I bring him to your attention. I bring Mr. Roberts to your attention. You can go on, I think, PBS, YouTube, I don't know where, but you can go and you can have your kids watch. You can watch Bob Ross. Or you can just find joyful moments in your head with your eyes closed. There's stress all over. I get that. There's stress at all levels. I know people that live on the end of the jungle, the edge of the jungle, right? Climbing coconut trees. I took a hike with some kids in the Philippines, and we hiked for almost an hour. Had to stop lots of times for me because I was old compared to them. And we went to what's called a sinanguila tree, which is a plum tree. And it was this plum tree it's in the middle of the jungle there. And the kids are climbing all over the tree. I'm trying to climb the tree, and the plums, they're not purple and big. If you're from the United States or from Europe, you know what I'm talking about. They're small and they're still green. But it's like their secret sinanguila, their secret plum tree, and we went there. Oh, it was just fabulous. It was joyful. It was moment after moment of pure joy. Now, kids are real good at that. That's why I keep bringing up kids. That's why I bring up these guys who approach kids, Mr. Rogers, Sheriff John, whoever you might have had. And Bob Ross really dealt with adults, but he applied to that thing inside us that some psychologists call the child in us. Chris Farley.
Thanks, Kevin. So, I'm in the supermarket the other day, right? And I'm waiting in the checkout line, huh? And all of a sudden, this guy cuts right in front of me, right? So I says to the guy, right? I says to him, he's standing there, right? So I says to the guy, get this, wait a second. I says to the guy, I says to him, he's standing right there, get this, right? He's standing right there, right? And I'm saying to him, he's standing right there, me and him right there, get this, hold on. He says to him, he's standing there, I says to him, hold on a second. So I turn to the guy and I says to him, I've completely forgotten what the hell I came here for in the first place, Kevin. I got nothing. Zip.
Jerry Sozio, everybody.
Out of here.
Thank you, Jerry.
Zip. Wazzo! Nothing.
Thank you, Jerry.
But listen, I'm running out of time. It's been 60 minutes. I know I've had technical difficulties. I'm going to do better next time. I don't know how much better I'm going to get on production values, but I want to like chill out on all this heavy, human to human stuff. So I'm going to show you a couple videos from animals doing things that make us smile, at least make me smile. They give me joy. They give me katawa. Katawa, you can look in Google and see what it means. So once again, technically not too proficient yet. Give me a second to get what it is I need to get.
¿Qué pasa en su corral? Zapatero, ¿qué opina usted del gobierno de Zapatero? Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted del gobierno canario? ¿Y de los ayuntamientos de la isla?
Wynwood, Oklahoma is a wildlife refuge that's home to a variety of creatures. Due to the recent strains on the economy, many places that shelter animals have been forced to shut down, leaving them in need of a new place to go. Also at the park lives a more familiar but extremely determined little dachshund named Abby. While some of the bigger beasts around here might think of Abby as a sausage on a bun, there's a certain animal who likes Abby for what's on the inside. Bone Digger, the Barbary lion.
I can't say that I've ever seen anything like this bond. They're always just loving on each other.
Bone Digger gets along with all four of the wiener dogs, but for some reason Abby gets away with a lot more.
Him and Abby's had a special bond from the first day.
Not long after Bone Digger was born, Abby came along.
They were probably all introduced within being the age of 6 to 9 weeks old.
And it was love at first sight.
And by that time, Bone Digger's got a little bit of size to him, and Bone Digger just mothered it. The most amazing thing is definitely the bond that they've built.
Known for their little legs and big nerves, Dachshund's lack of self-awareness in terms of their size can sometimes get them into sticky situations.
Me and the weenie dogs are about the only relationship that he has. Nobody else can go in the cage with him. He runs them out, gets aggressive with them. He's never tried that with me. I've never been in fear while I'm in there, and the weenie dogs have never been in fear while in there. Believe it or not, the weenie dogs actually overpower him.
I think they've got their size differences worked out.
One minute they'll be running around the house chasing him, and then the next minute he's chasing them. So they reverse roles.
Contrary to what you might expect between a lion and a dog, Abby and Bone Digger are creating their own unique dynamic.
You know, we've actually split them up. When I go in to weed eat the cage, the weenie dogs attack the head of the weed eater. So I have to kick the weenie dogs out of the cage, and Bone Digger just paces and cries up and down the fence. And then as soon as I'm done weed eating, I let the weenie dogs back in, and he counts his weenie dogs, make sure they're all there, and just loves all over them. He loves on them. They usually lick his mouth and lay on him and roll over. It's a pretty cool reunion. Act like they've been gone forever, and you know, it's only been 5 or 10 minutes. And every time we do that, it happens.
It's pretty clear that these two care for each other.
I love Abby the most because Bone Digger's my favorite lion here on the park, and she's just really, really his biggest companion. I think there's a bigger bond between Abby and Bone Digger than the other 3 weenie dogs. I mean, he still cares for them all. He protects them, he makes sure they're all right. You know, he's even bit at the fleas like you see dogs doing each other. It's just crazy what they do. The lesson that you get from Abby and Bone Digger living together is he is a wild animal, but he can be tamed. The weenie dog is a tamed animal, but it can be wild. There's a little bit of each animal in each one of them.
All right. All right, we've come to the end of the first Joy, Love, and Happiness show. Now, I know that some moments of joy are brief. I know that some moments of joy are hard to see from the cloud of either anger or sadness or worry. I get that. I get that there is a lot to test us as we go through our lives. I encourage you. I applaud you when you do it, to take a moment, to take 2 moments, to take 10, and have some joy. If it's here on Joy, Love, and Happiness, I'm happy that it's here. But I'd like it to be, of course, much more for all of us. For all of us. So before we end this premiere episode of Joy, Love, and Happiness, like I promised at the beginning and the end, commercial. The first commercial is please join us next week, 9 p.m. on the eastern side of the U.S. and whatever time zone applies according to that. If you're in LA, it'll be 6 p.m. Hey everybody, Steve here. The second thing is, if you would click on the video of my cat Polly, it's a 20-second video. There'll be an ad banner. If you click on that ad banner, it'll take 5 seconds out of your day, let the page load, and then I get paid. Someone said like 80 cents each time that's done. So that's how I can get income. Here's Polly. There she is, right there. There's Polly. So, I gotta figure this thing out better. So, that's the second thing. And the videos that are claimed copyright, they're letting them play, so let them get the money from this video, and then I'll get the residuals from the video of Polly. Thanks a lot. Back to our regular scheduled program. Because that's why I started this in the first place, was the economic thing. And I encourage you to do that. That will help me. Subscribe and all those other things that YouTube likes people to do. And if you're so inclined, you can visit my Patreon page at patreon.com/Gary Steve Irwin. Until next Thursday night, you can catch my Let's Play Golf and Talk videos in the interim. And I'll see you all next week. Bye now.